over here.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Success Secrets Revealed TV show live stream with Ron Couming, your host. Today we got an excellent guest with us, Daniella Platt, who's a brand strategist and people connector. She's an amazing personality, an amazing person with a great personality. Wait till you meet her. Before I read her bio and then bring her on, I want to talk to you briefly about the show, how Success Secrets Revealed came about, and then we'll introduce the sponsor and then bring her on in probably 60 seconds. The show Success Secret Revealed came about because I have a radio show, Internet Marketing and Business Solutions with Ronald Couming. We have about a 1.7 million reach, but because of COVID, the station's not manning it right now. So they're just running reruns. So and those reruns are still, they were great guests at that time, but I wanted to continue to deliver, to serve the listeners and the viewers by giving them new content, especially with the way the world has changed. The world is not the same as it was 6 months ago. So I created this show. I'm going to strip out the audio, send it to the radio station so they can put it in the queue when they get to it. But also the videos we're going to share all over various social media platforms. So you, the listeners and viewers, get all this extra stuff. Just so you know, I don't get paid to do this show. My guests don't get paid to do this show. This is all a labor of love from us to you. We are sponsored, though. We are sponsored by RCS Online Solutions. That's my company. We're a digital marketing company. We help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients to achieve even greater success. Short order. You can have the best product, the best service, the best websites. You can have the best of everything. But if people can't find you when they're searching, and they're not searching for your name and they're not searching for your company's name, they're searching for the products or the solutions or services that you provide. So that's what you need to come up for in the search engine. That's what we can help you with. So enough of that. Let's bring on our guest today, who you can already see. But Daniella Platt is a business shifter and communication expert at the helm of fashion and media. Her book, Looking Good, was just released, and she hosts a QuaranTEA Creative Mingle, a space for established and new brands to collaborate, recognized as the #1 in ad sales at the Apparel News today. She writes about Women Who Innovate in a Fashion Mannuscript editor and has crafted hundreds of campaigns, earning a respectable place in history. She offers conceptual marketing strategies that have guided countless people to break through ideas and exposure, helping them shift their business and life. Help me welcome Daniella Platt. Hey. All right, you're live now.
Well, thank you so much. This is such an honor to be here. This is such a unique experience. I never thought I'd be in a radio talk show from my garage, and this whole experience has just been a wild change.
Think about.
So thank you.
All right, and that's cool. But now that you brought up garages, right?
Right.
Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, right? How many other great companies to this day were built in garages? You might be the next Amazon.
You name it, for sure. Harley Davidson. And then the other term that's really funny is how you heard cloffices, like the converted closet. I have a lot of friends that have converted their closet, like a 2x2, into a little studio, a little office. Everybody's trying to carve out their own little niche wherever they can to call it their own space. So whether it's a garage or a cloffice, and brilliance can happen in any small place. You just have to really be tenacious and go for it.
I love it. And you're kind of new to the entrepreneur world. You were pretty well established in corporate America, weren't you?
This has been a really wild ride. 4 years ago, so I've been in corporate my entire life. I started off in advertising, worked at BBDO, NW Air, Ammirati, a couple other places, Duncan Hines, Hawaiian Punch, Folgers Coffee, like the list goes on in terms of Fortune 500 companies. I worked at a fashion magazine for more than a decade. And then I had 2 babies. So baby number 1, I was like, we're getting a puppy. I'm not having babies. We're getting a puppy. And I'm like, what? We're pregnant? I can't believe I'm revealing this. I actually talk about it in the book I just wrote in a very small level. But so I spent like the first 2 years figuring out, okay, so I'm a mom now. What do I do? There's this human leaky crying thing. What do I do? And the old corporate me didn't really fit into that model, but I was so centric towards just figuring out, okay, now I have to be a mom. But then this other thing happened 20 months later where we had our second baby. And when I had my second baby, my drive to really nail it back in, it's not so much fashion, but back with the creative world, that drive came back, but I didn't exactly know how. But I knew I wanted to not do what, I didn't want to be in the bleachers. I wanted to be with the preachers. I wanted to break what I knew to get to where I wanted to go. And I didn't know how. And I'm kind of just like, I'm still figuring it out. But now I have this second baby. And she sort of instilled in me, like, I wanted to do it differently. And then I didn't know this. I did not know that you could be and do anything. And that's what a lot of these coaches, like people like you and people like Angel, Tussie, and various other people have taught me. Like, you can make Sonia Striblings was my first coach, and she said, you've been in the business of fashion for 20 years. You've been selling media. You are sitting on a gold mine of information. And I was like, really? So people around the world need your information. I'm like, really? And I would do this with people. I would sit and I would map out people's entire roadmap of how to go to market. Let me teach you the tools to sell. And I just did it. And she's like, do you know you're sitting on a gold mine? Do you know what you're doing? And I was like, tell me, like, how do I turn it into a business? So that has been the journey for the last 2 years. The baby's now, she's 2.5. So, she's really the impetus of me wanting to do it differently, but being able to help people be extraordinary and really activate their dreams. These aren't secrets for me to keep. These are secrets for other people to really go out and achieve what they can.
Nice. So, absolutely. Yeah. But it came from a desire, though. You just knew that the way that your world had changed, and you knew that you weren't able to stay within that frame. You had to create something else around that. Am I correct?
I had to create something else around it. I had no choice. Of course I had a choice, but I just didn't want it to be the same. I wanted to be able to help people on a wider scale, and I wanted people to align higher, but I wanted control of my time. I also needed to be able to work from any place as well. I wanted to be like, on a laptop, wherever I needed to be. If I needed to visit my family in New York or, people around the world, I needed it to be sort of on my time.
Nice. And so good. But it started that process of you understanding that you needed your life instead of living somebody else's life. One thing in the very beginning, when we hear in the entrepreneur world, it's kind of like a catchphrase to get you in, is that if you're not busy building your own life, you're building somebody else's, right? And you kind of
absolutely.
You were, in somebody else's world. In that corporate world, you fit a niche, and it just built whatever it was that they were building for themselves and their shareholders. But now you had life-changing events, but you had so much skill set that you could literally give people, you become now a consultant, and you probably make twice as much an hour and doing something more that you love, and you can be doing it on the beach on an iPad somewhere. So you stepped into the world, you know what I mean? And good for you.
Well, thank you. It's definitely been a journey. What I did find also is this level of passion as a consultant and entrepreneur. I go deeper. I often found like, okay, I'm at work and it's 3 o'clock and I need a haircut, and all I can think about is it's 3 o'clock and I need a haircut. But when I'm so focused on my clients, and I'm so focused on taking them, give in a much more, it really fills me as this is my business and I want you to fly. So it fills me in a whole different way. So yeah, that's been good. And then for the last 4 years, I've been consulting kind of really one-on-one, having clients on retainer. And through the last journey of COVID, I'm actually we're rebuilding now. We're going to figure it out. But I actually think I want to take people more into rather than working directly with big clients and and helping with this big business development, like working with a lot of people at smaller levels and helping smaller people just kind of really elevate and grow. But yeah, it's been a journey, as you discussed. I mean, who knew you could be and do anything? It's been a journey.
I love it, man, and I love to see that awakening and that enthusiasm. And you're right, man. It's so you can do anything you want to do. You just have to decide to do it and take that massive action. What would be the ideal client for you? Would it be strictly fashion related, or could you help people in other realms as well?
So, okay, so in terms of the ideal client, so anybody who is in the business of fashion, I can absolutely help. I mean, I've been to over 500 trade shows. So, you know, I speak from the heart of the West Coast business of fashion, because that's really where I've been for the last 20 years. So my sweet spot is definitely, you know, I've been over 500 trade shows, whether it's like, I think the last Magic trade show that I've been to, which Magic, if you're not familiar with, is the largest fashion event that take place in the US, and it takes place twice a year. Usually it's February and August, and this year it happens to be shifting towards the end of September. But, you know, whether it's, you know, I think I was just at my 30th show, could that possibly be? Wow. So anybody who's looking to really figure out, how do I grow my business in the business of fashion? Great, I can absolutely talk to you about that. The other reality is my expertise is sales. And I was constantly talking to creatives, and they would say, can you just be my sales rep? Because I was constantly like, hey, you have to meet this person. You have to meet this person. They're interested in this. They're interested in that. And what I realized is that creatives don't necessarily know how to sell. But what I did was I sit down with them and I take them through, I call it the 10 commandments to be a sales rock star. And I take them through this 10-step process of how a creative can actually become a sales rock star. And I started off, my dad used to say, my dad was on Wall Street, so he would always say, the 10 commandments of Wall Street are, well, when in doubt, make money. But nobody knew the other 9. So I had to figure them out. So
what were they?
So he was like, the 10th commandment of Wall Street is when in doubt, make money, which clearly means, like, if somebody presents to you an offer, you have to be open to absolutely everything, and you have to figure out, does it work for me? But you have to evaluate absolutely everything. And if something has a great PR spin to it, or it could leverage you to the next level, or it could potentially open up the next door, look at every single opportunity that comes your way. Don't close the door on anything. And really, just like, you have to make money. So if it can only make you a small fraction of the big margin that you want, take the deal. But obviously only engage with the people that you want to engage with, and do business that makes sense, that's in alignment with your core message. So that was number 10. But then I thought to myself, so what are the other 9? Like, Dad, what's the other 9? So that's when people would say to me, hey, Dee, you know, what is it that you do? So I started really thinking, what are the practices that I do? So I came up with the 10 commandments to be a sales rock star. And actually, so I wrote it in the book, but let me just make sure I give you the order correct. But it kind of just starts off as like, the first thing, I mean, anybody has to do, you have to, I say, you know, as much as you want to go big, you also have to kind of become friends with people. It's the art of the unsell. You want to build trust. You want to build likability. You want people to know you. Do everything you can to sort of learn everything about the person you're talking to, because you have no idea what opportunities lie behind. I would be talking to colleagues and they'd say, oh, I'm not going to talk to them. They make shoes. I make dresses. I have nothing to do with it. But if you just open the door and say, you know, hi, I make dresses. I know you make shoes. I love your stuff. Tell me more about it. You might find out that they have a whole warehouse of dresses waiting to be seen. So I really just believe in, like, opening up doors. That's number 1, the art of unselling. Let's be friends. So much about your body language matters. Like, use words like powerful words like will and would, not could or can. And there's, when you see, like, I call it bridging, like, whatever your product is, you have to connect your product to them. So that's where you have to make the bridge. And then I kind of walk people through the whole process of, like, how do you make the bridge? Well, you have to throw out the offer, and I can go on and on and on about this, but you have to, like, throw out an offer. And I walk people through the whole process of throwing out an offer, getting your yes. If that's not the right offer, how do you position another yes? What do you do if you get a no? What does a no mean?
Not now.
What does a no mean? Not now. Exactly. So, you know, and so I just walk people through that whole process of, how do you open doors? How do you get your yes? How do you build bridges? Bridges build so many different ways to have different offers. So if one offer doesn't work, you have to find another door to get inside. So that's really what I found So to answer your question, I found that creatives who I think are coming to me for business development in the business of fashion, which they are really telling me, I used what you told me and I just got into the men's market. I just got into 6 stores. I'm finding that the creatives that I talk to who I think I'm helping in the business of fashion really are coming to me because I have taught them how to tweak their message, to position themselves, to be to be ready for when the time is right for them to be called on. And that I empowered them to really activate their brand and their business and their mission. So that's been really gratifying. So a lot of these people, they have an idea and I help them with figuring out their idea and flushing it to market, but teaching the creatives how to sell is really, really been unbelievable. So that's been really, really a charge. But then separately, yes, if you have an idea, I have an idea, I want to have a t-shirt line, or, oh, I have a t-shirt line, but we're only on the West Coast and we make $300,000 in sales. Can you help me? Yeah, I mean, of course, like I can help you in every way possible. I could give you 3 ways on how you can have a clothing line without even worrying about fit. I mean, I could share with you, and I talk about it in the book and I have workshops. So 3 ways, you don't have to worry about fit if you want to do private label, if you want to do something a little bit more disruptive, whether it's cutting on, whether it's manufacturing on demand, whether it's using extensive blanks to really get out your message. What is fashion? Fashion is really just we could talk about what is fashion, but it's your form of self-expression without words, and what you are. Even not caring about fashion is a statement.
You like
I love it. It tells me that you're just energized, and you're also you're working from home. So you want to be corporate but fun, and you're on a screen. So you want me to be engaged, and it really has some good energy. So I really help people in both areas of finding their voice to actually get new business and tweaking their message to be prepared. And I hear it all the time. Hey Dee, so this is what the client said to me. So I would say, and I just give them, this is what you need to say. What happened to my screen? You need to just kind of tell them, this is what you need to say back. And they'll call me up 5 minutes later. You're not going to believe this. I got it. So
nice.
That's really gratifying. I get really excited about it.
I love it. But to me, when I'm listening to you, it sounds to me like, it is a lot surrounding fashion, and like the person with the shoes, they may have a trailer full of dresses or something, but they also might know somebody who's in the industry who needs new dresses. And now by you connecting to that person in the shoes, she's going to connect you to this other person. And now you've just sold 1,500 more dresses a quarter. You know what I mean? So there's no, you should always make those contacts and never just count somebody out, because you never know where it's going to go.
You never know where it's going to go. And that's really what I truly believe. I think it's number 5 of the 10 commandments is just go big, no matter what. Go big, talk to everybody you don't know. And as a people connector, you just don't know when you're going to sell 1,500 shoes out of somebody else's garage or dresses. You just don't know what you're about to reveal. So I was hosting, and talk about bringing people together. I think it's time to drop the quaran. I said that. So I've been hosting online. I'm amazed by what happened. It happened organically. A couple of designers said, hey, can we get together? They were feeling sort of isolated and lonely. And I said, yeah, I did it sort of on a dime. Hey, care to? Sure. Yeah. Okay. Anna, Galina, can you, Inga, hey, do you guys want, and sure enough, so it started off, it started off very informal, but it actually has become a real thing that, social distancing doesn't stop us from being social. And I've had about, between 5 and 10 creatives come together, and we've been calling it QuaranTEA and Mingle. But I think it's time to drop, I think we're dropping the QuaranTEA part. We're just coming together. So it's been a creative mingle, and it's been really incredible when creatives come together. And a lot of people are in different places. Some people are just starting out. Maybe they're a photographer and they want to figure out, how do I get my photography? How do I leverage my art into clothing? Well, sure, we could talk to you about that. But then you have a swim designer talking to a luxury designer, talking to a dress designer who's a former model for Michael Kors. And it's unbelievable what they're just sharing, like, where are you in your business, and people giving advice to one another. And the feedback that I'm getting is just that people feel really energized and enthusiastic, and they just want to create. They want to create when they're done.
I love it. I love it. But I got to tell you something, the things that you're talking about, to me, I have 79 active clients, and they're in all different spheres, because our services, whether it's websites, funnels, social media, whatever it is, our biggest thing is the SEO, getting people ranked on the first page. Just about every single business owner needs it. It's just a question of who they're going to hire, right? So, but when I listen to you and the advice and the verbiage that you're using, to me, there's a lot of people who could benefit from that, not just the creatives and not just the people in fashion and shoes. I think that you could actually be a consultant in a much larger arena.
Well, thank you. The sales tools are absolutely universal, and anybody who's an artist, I tell my friend this all the time. She makes cookies. I'm like, can I just have your artwork, and I'll let me make you tank tops, so you don't have to spend 30 hours making 30 cookies. You can spend 1 hour making 300 t-shirts. So thank you. So I started off, and can I go back to what you were talking about, being an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
The advice that I got is build the business based upon what you know. So the business that I know is how a creative can make sales, and how anybody who wants to, achieve greater dreams, how I can help them become a better salesperson. So that is definitely a universal skill. But when it comes to a tactical skill, I can help anybody get going inside the business of fashion. I would love to help people make a couch, but I don't have those tools. So I'm trying to honor what the advice of the entrepreneurial experts such as yourself would say, which is stay in your lane of, I will help anybody who's a creative figure out your message, open doors for sales, and I can help you grow your fashion line, simply because that's based on the 20 years of expertise that I know. But yeah, if you are anybody in the business, if you're a creative of any channel, I would love to be able to help you tweak your message so you can convert to sales and really optimize and expand and activate your dreams. Absolutely.
There's no doubt in my mind you can do that, no matter what. Even if it's somebody who wants to repolster his couch, you know what I mean? Figure out a way, okay?
I'll figure it out. You'll help me there. You'll help me with the SEO to figure that part out. So that part's definitely my biggest hurdle is when you're an entrepreneur, you have to kind of do everything. But when you're working for a company, you get to just do one thing. Yep. So that's definitely part. The technology side is definitely a growing area for me, and for my personal growth.
Well, here's one thing that I can tell you about I agree with you 100% on that, but once you start to grow, and in order to grow, and you have to not be working in your business, you have to be working on your business. So you have to create some type of systems and processes. And some people say learn it, do it, and delegate it. I like to say learn it, do it, and duplicate it. So I have several VAs and I have several employees, 26 total. But what I do is something that I want to get done, right? Whether it's writing a blog, whether it's doing this on a website, whatever it is, I will create a short little video, and I will create a folder with all those videos in it. And when I bring somebody new on, I will tell them, review those videos. Or if I say, okay, I need you to do this, I'll send them that video. So now I'm not retraining 20 people, because I did the video one time. I'm just giving them access to it. But what they're doing is exactly what I would do. The difference is I don't have to do it. So now a 30-hour project is now in 90 minutes, because I'm still going in and I'm going to edit it and make sure, because at the end of the day, it's me to the client, right? But I don't have to be the one doing the pick it up, put it down stuff. So if you can learn to get to the point where you can learn what needs to be done, do it to the point where no one's taking advantage of you by telling you it takes 10 hours when you know it takes 6, but they're going to charge you 10, right? But then you delegate it, and you definitely want to get to a point where you're really duplicating. Because if you just delegate, then you're trusting in whoever that person is will carry forth your vision and your quality and your integrity and authenticity, right? So that's why I like to duplicate. And that's what we do for our clients a lot. We get them right down into the system. So now you could be working with 10 clients at the same time while you're sitting on the beach.
I absolutely agree. And that is the exact reason that I wrote it all down. That is the exact reason. So this is my preliminary copy. So that is yeah, this is it. This is my, this is the book.
Let's get it up here so people can see it down here.
What is it? Can you see it?
Yep. It's also on the bottom now.
On the bottom.
If you look at the scroller at the bottom of your screen.
There we go. Okay, cool. So yeah, so it's on Amazon. I popped it on last week because it's exactly what you're describing. I have workshops, they're recorded. So what I do is when I get a new client, I take them through the workshops because I want to be able to give them all the information, and then we'll talk. Then we can have a great conversation. But exactly what you're talking about, like I don't know exactly what everybody wants, but here, take everything, and then we'll have a conversation, and I'll get you from 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5. The workshops will take you there, and then we'll talk and we'll get through everything. I find that when you're working on your scripts and your narratives and so forth, you kind of want to talk it out. And I'm such a creative soul that I like to talk to people, but I do need to scale. So I have workshops available, and I'm so excited. So so this book has the 10 commandments in it, the 10 commandments to be a sales rock star. We break it all down. I give out tons of scripts. In fact, I think you can grab my favorite script is free. You could grab it on my website, which is lookinggoodyeah.com. So I give the tons of scripts, tons of guidance. And then I also walk people through the steps of how anyone can have a fashion collection in the Fashion Startup Playbook part. I walk through everybody the steps of how to do it. And I give tons of resources so people can actually activate and go for it on their own. So it's kind of like a workbook in a sense of like, I'll get you all the tools you need. And then when you're ready to actually work with me, you're already like, you have a really good foundation, and you should have some clarity as to where you want to go. And when you're with me, we can really do some really good business development and make it happen.
Good, but I hope that you're charging something for that material, right?
It's funny. It took me 20 years to actually come up with. So part of me was like, should I charge $1,000? But I listed it today. I think the Kindle price is $10. I listed it for $25 for the book. I am going to do a launch party. So I'm trying to figure out how to do a virtual launch party. I'm used to sort of like, normal life where you actually throw a party. So if you have any suggestions about how to get a band and a bar for a virtual launch party and make it really fun. So here's the thing.
Where are you from? Where are you?
I live in LA, but I am from New York.
Oh, you're so much fun, man. You know what I mean? Where we can get a band. We want to do something virtual, but we want a band. we can scan it over there for a second, and then they can see we got a band going, I mean,
Maroon 5 can play in their home. They can just say, welcome to my house.
Why not? You know what I mean? Invite them down. Tell them free pizza.
Lady Gaga, and just flash on a YouTube video of her.
Yeah. You're fun, man. But
but
a launch party is there's different ways you can do that. You can also like have a whole list of like your friends and all your friends and say, listen, on Tuesday the 21st or whatever the day happens to be, I'm going to be launching my book, and if X amount of books can be sold, I'll be listed as #1. In hopes of that, I'm dropping, because I want to give so much value. Maybe you don't even put down that you'll be #1 because then it's about you, right? This book has so much value. For the first 24 hours, this book is priced at $19.99, but I'm giving it to you for 99 cents. But act fast because time's running out and we're limited to 1,000, right? Or something like that, right? So, but now your friends, your families, and if you're in any like meetups, and they're just going to go and buy it at 99 cents. And that way there, because you're not really doing it for the money, you want the ranking. And then, later you can up your price. But then the same thing goes when they have a book launching party. They're going to drop it for $1, and then you run out and buy it too. So it's one way that a lot of people get #1 bestsellers.
That's what I'm going to do. So I earmarked July 15th. So it's exactly 1 month from today. So I listed it as $25 because it's really an unbelievable resource in terms of like giving you the context that you need just to really jumpstart your career, jumpstart this phase, whether it's sales or jumpstarting your fashion collection. Because did you know you can have a fashion line in less than 90 days?
I went to Santini Alley. I know you know what that is in LA too.
Santini Alley.
I love Santini. That's where I get all my stuff, man. I got all my shirts because I'm doing 5 videos today. So I'm changing shirts as I sit here. Get up, go get some water, come back. Hey, how are you? But
that's so true. So that's so true. So yeah, you could totally go there. You can have a fashion line. You can. And I love seeing that happen. So I'm so excited for you and your fashion line. So what I am doing though, so I'm going to host a virtual party and it's going to be July 15th. I might do it sooner. I think I should just go with the momentum of what we're talking about and just do it maybe next week.
You want to do it sooner.
I want to do it sooner.
Definitely.
So let's just pick a day.
Tell me why you don't want to do it on July 15th.
Because it's taxes, right?
Exactly. That's the day.
Yeah, that's a bad day.
So people are already occupied and they're already cutting big checks. So you don't want them. And even if you do it like a week later, they're still suffering mentally and emotionally from cutting that check. So you might do it like July 1st, or you also got to worry. You don't want people to be too distracted by the 4th of July. So
should we do it July 29th, like 2 weeks from today?
June 29th, you mean?
Sorry, June 29th.
Yeah,
June
why
29th?
not? Why not?
Okay, so virtual. So I'm having a launch party, June 29th. I'm announcing it right here. Launch party, we're having a party.
You heard it here first on Success Secrets Revealed.
So we're having a party. It's June 29th, virtual party. So if you get the book, it's your ticket inside. And yeah, I'm super excited about it because I just want other people to be able to elevate. And I really feel like this is an amazing platform for people who are really struggling to open doors to close sales or figure out how do they have their line or why should you struggle? I have the tools, just take it, go for it. They're not secrets. I've just spent 20 years learning them, but I want you to have them and you can have it in like literally in the palm of your hands. You can have it in a workshop. I could talk to you about it, but I really want people to know that they could do this. They could sell their collections. They can make a collection. They can take their artwork and leverage their time. Like you have artwork, let's get it on some beautiful clothing and you don't even have to make a huge investment. So I think you don't have to worry about fit. It's not a huge investment. You just need some guidance.
Some other people who make clothing, they might make t-shirts, might pay you to use your logo and then give you a royalty on every t-shirt that's sold. So you might not pay a penny.
Take it.
You just need to talk to Daniella Platt and she's going to make it happen.
Make it happen. I'll make sure you're looking good. That's been my logo. You're looking good. Yeah. Which is like you as you are, like kind of just after back to my second baby, I was like, I don't feel like me at all. Force yourself up, out the door. You're looking good. You as you are. And sometimes you feel that way. Like you're not feeling your best, but then it's a little different now these days because you're not like, okay, I'm just going to go to the gym and get my groove back on. It takes a little bit more now that you're we're still kind of bunkered up here, but we're starting to expand. But, you're looking good. You as you are.
Nice. Good for you. All right. So we got like 3 minutes left and I want you to give out your contact information and I want you to, whatever final thoughts you want people to have.
Sure. So I'm Daniella Platt, and you can find me at the website is lookinggoodyeahyeah.com. So is it typed up or you want me to type it in here?
Oh, it's in here, scrolling right on the bottom right now. Okay.
So it's YAYA, you as you are. So I'm Daniella Platt, lookinggoodyeahyeah.com. So the book, I wrote a book. So I wrote a book because I was seeing so many creatives struggle with how to close sales, how to open doors, how to take people on the journey, how to actually activate their dreams, how to leverage their artwork, where do they even go? They have the idea of a clothing line, what do they do? Or maybe they're an existing designer, but what I find is existing designers and entrepreneurs, we're still always back at the drawing board and we still need to figure out what's next. So I wrote this book to really help everybody activate their dreams, open new doors for business, leverage their art, and create new funnels for themselves to be able to have new business, both from a sales perspective and a fashion business. I hope you grab a copy. So we just announced that we're having the launch party to Looking Good. Yeah, the book. The launch party is June 29th. It is virtual. Details are coming, but your ticket to join is the book. And we are having our next, dumping a lot of information here. So anyway, I have a sales script for you. If you want my favorite sales script or some information on how to break into the fashion industry, please visit my website, lookinggoodyeah.com. Virtual party, launch party is June 29th, and Creative Mingle is June 7th.
I love it. And you're doing all this. You're doing amazing on so many levels, but you're also a mother of two. So, I mean, there are just so many different levels of, what you bring to the table in terms of being a coach and a mentor to somebody. I often tell people, you don't want to take financial advice from a broke brother-in-law. It might not turn out so well. So in terms of like seeking advice and seeking counsel, you want to seek counsel and not advice. And counsel or being mentored, those are by people who have been there and have done that, right? And that's you. You know what I mean? So even if somebody is in a different realm, the issues you've had to overcome to get to your level of success, you can certainly help them with that. Because some of them is just mental and emotional. Can I do it? Should I do it? How can I do it? Am I thinking too small? Am I thinking too big? I got 2 kids, or whatever the case may be. So I really love it. I think you bring so much more to the table than you realize.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun packaging up everything that you know from a corporate perspective, but figuring out how to give to you what you need has been the interesting thing. So you have to do like a lot of market research. How can I help you? What is it that I can do to serve you? And then figuring out that whole price structure and how to disseminate the information. It's different when you shift from corporate to entrepreneurial. I'm supposed to.
That right there in and of itself is an industry. How to quit your corporate job and become an entrepreneur. So just the fact that you've done that, as well as many others, but the fact that one thing plus everything else you've done, but that one thing that you've done has value to somebody who's currently a W-2 and wants to break free. So you have so many levels you haven't even touched on yet that, you know what I mean? Because they're sitting there, they're in their W-2 job, and they're being told when they can eat lunch, and they're 2 minutes late, and they get the stink eye from the manager, right? So it's like, dude, I want my life. I ate a tuna fish sandwich today. I'm sorry. I chewed 4 times instead of 2. I'm a minute late, right? So I'm just saying that there are so many aspects of doing what you've done that I really do think you bring a lot to the table. So
Thank you. Yeah. I just tell everybody show up, just make sure you show up. It's how do you show up to every virtual Zoom call? I have to figure out, but just show up, be present, listen to everybody, ask a lot of questions, uncover what other people need, because you will be amazed at the bridges that you can connect what you have to what they have. And the more you find out, the deeper your relationship is, and the greater you can have it. And I'm not talking about like small, like, hey, I'm going to buy business cards from you today. Like in the business of fashion or the business of any lifestyle brand, you have consistent relationships that span years. My colleagues have kids who are 4 that are now in college. So you really want to know as much as you can to really offer as much as you can. I really help people do that. So it's been really fun. It's been a journey, and I'm excited that I wrote a book about it because I had no idea people could write books.
Yeah.
So.
And we have an official launch coming up on the 29th. You heard it here first.
First party.
And now I don't know if you know Mark Victor Hansen. He's Chicken Soup of the Soul.
Yeah. Okay.
He sold like over 500,000 books, right? He's like second only to the Bible. He was my guest on week 2 on Friday. So you might want to go through my weeks. Just go up on YouTube, go find this channel, Success Secrets, go up there and then just listen to his show, because him and his wife, Cheryl, were talking about a book that they just put out. But he also talks about the process of his books and what he did there and what they did. And then what do you do after you learn all that? You pick
Exactly. What do you do if you learn all of that?
You pick up the phone and you call him. And if you can't call him, you go to his social media thing and you DM him. Hey, I just saw your interview. You got some great information. I just wrote this book. I'm having a launch party on the 29th. Any advice? Bang. If he doesn't, he'll respond because he's a great guy. But if he doesn't, right? He doesn't, but he would. But, or his wife, go right straight to his wife, right? But there you go. Poof. You're connected now to the #1 author in the entire universe just by being on this show. Just scroll up, watch the interview, pick out a couple of things you found interesting, contact them, compliment them, and then just tell them what you want to do and see where it goes.
I'm going to do that today. Absolutely. I'm adding that to my things to do today. You got it. This has been really, really exciting. It's been such an exciting journey. And I never really knew anxiety or vulnerability until you actually are faced with it yourself. I think working for a company, the company was always my shield, but I don't have a shield anymore. Yeah. So this has just been really, really an exciting journey. But to meet, get advice from you and to really be able to hone in on your craft and help other people shine has really, really been extraordinary.
I love it. And you're gonna do super well. All right, I got to close out now because I got to get ready for my next guest. But you've been amazing. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And I'll be getting these up and sending you links, and we'll be talking. If there's anything I can do to help you with your launch or anything other, I think I just gave you a big tip anyhow. But if there's anything in addition to that, just contact me, okay? You got it. And good luck with your wardrobe changes. I know you have back-to-back. I got them all right here. So you have a rolling rack in the corner over there. Actually, they're just thrown over the couch chair. You know what I mean? I got them on the edge of the couch. If I turn this, you'd see them all. They're all sitting right there. That's so funny. I got the Gucci, the Santee Alley. I'm meeting Daniela. I got to spruce it up. She wants an article of flair. It's a little bit of flair. And I actually clicked because I got Forbes Riley coming on later. She sold like $2 billion worth of stuff. But then we got Sherry coming on from Grant Cardone's 10X. She's recently left, but she's dynamite. She's from Miami. So now I got this shirt because she's from Miami, right? So now I got my pastel. All right, Don Johnson. Right? You know what I mean? You got a little Miami Vice. And where are you? Where are you based again? Boston. You're okay. That's right. Yeah, I'm Boston. Right. So we don't have any common sense up here, but we have fun. Fun is important. Fun is actually essential. It's very important. It's essential in life to have fun in everything that you do, to work with people that you like, to enjoy the people that you're with. Fun is essential, and that's why you're doing what you're doing, because you love what you're doing. It's essential. I love it. Thank you so much. You've been excellent. You're so welcome. This was fun. Thank you, Ron. Bye for now. Bye.